Hey everyone, time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are, we hope you enjoy the show. Uh, please give it a like. Lost my train of thought for a second. Please give it a like and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, Radio Public, Spotify, all places that you can find us. You can get all the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music, our patrons, Demon Hunter 2, Electric Water Boy, Aggie Jedi Master, Antaeus, Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, Nick at Cashley, One Kind Word, Butterfly Girl, Loon Trackers, the Aussie Geocacher, Sodak Zach, and shout out to Sodak Zach. He ran a marathon this past weekend, so good job, so Dak Zach. The Deadliest Cachers, Terrell 2, Neil Moore, Team D&D, Geocaching Adam, Peachy 1276, the No Code Geocachers, Tick Magnet, Marsipanic, Bricker John, Firesafe, FS Sabero, Geo Rick, Cache Addict Mel, Geocaching Janji, the Geocaching Junkie, Sir Drumalot, Janice, Tricassius, Tom Frey, Rugels, EGK PBR, Casamaya, Master Sergeant USMC, Little Gears, Albedo 0.39, It's Only Barney, Purple Turtles 3, ACDC Family, None of It Tidy, AFK Geocaching, Josh Boggs, Carrot Killer, Korsgat, Geocaching with Lampe, Bren Tim 07, Dave and Karen of Cache Canada, Team Tailwagger, Black Chrome, Super Nate, The Twonky, Burnt Turtles, Padib, Kazelli, Dragon, Gunter Hunters, Acme Wildcachers, P0001, ADK Sarah, Eastern Girls, KC, Billy Robson, Fox and the Hound, TX Wolf Totem, K Blast, Landlocked Pirate Fam, Statuki, Burns Fire, Hockey Zombie, and our new patrons, Ship to Shore, A Holly S, Geo Dandrew, Dire Wolf 821, Deuteronomy 31.8, Sasquatch Lover, and Anje Edeman. The last one's French. I'm working on it. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get X tags, new blackout coins. Still got some, but we're running out quickly. So if you want to join, become a patron, you can get one. Otherwise,
do we have any of those left? We can't have.
We have some left, and then if they once they're gone, they're going to be gone. I think. I don't know. We haven't really talked about that. I don't think. The green ones are gone. The green ones, I've got one, and that's it. And I'm keeping my one.
Yeah, I am not selling either one of mine.
No, no, they're not going anywhere. Other geocaching items during the year, as well as bonus content, invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as $3 a month. Well, let me welcome back my co-host, Jesse.
It seems to be a theme welcoming me back. I've had to miss a couple shows recently, but it's all travel, though, right? So that's what we do, also. So
it's all good. It's all good.
But I'm happy to be back. So
we keep it on the rails, and so no, we are glad you're back because doing it by myself is this is a 2-man job, and sometimes 3 men and 1 lady. Sometimes when we have the whole network on, but. Anyway, let's jump. We got a lot tonight. Let's jump right into show 115 for September 9th as we discuss the Going Caching Mega with Andy and Jim. Welcome, the Waysiders. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. We are very happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us on Geocache Talk. We're excited. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you guys on. We've wanted to get you guys on in the past, and we've just never been able to work out the whole details. So when I was talking to Andy, it's like, well, that date's for you guys. That date's not good. And then finally, I was like, let's just do it next Sunday. She's like, we're on. I'm like, yeah, worked out. Well, we're kind of getting close. I mean, to the date. Yeah, so this is really good because I like you were saying, you guys are going to be so busy coming up, and so your weekends are getting filled quickly.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably weekends, weeknights, everything at this point. Right?
Oh yeah, we've been going nonstop. The whole our 3-day weekend, we were just slammed, and then all day today. And in fact, I had to come in from the shop, shower real quick, and get things set up to get here.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate you giving us a little bit of time to talk about this fascinating mega. And everybody I've ever talked to, either the people that have gone, and we've got a lot of people in the chat room, or people who are listening all over, who have been to a going caching, and they sing the praises of it, or there are folks who really want to go. And there are some people who are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's fine, because after tonight, you're going to be like, I want to go to that mega, because it's fascinating. It's one of the most unique megas. That unequivocally, that is one of the most fascinating megas.
And I'm not saying it just because we're on this show, but this is the top one for our list. This is my wife and I. My wife has told me this is our top one, actually. So, but it is for me too. But I can't wait to get to this one. I won't be here this year. It sounds like many of our people in the chat room are, but we will absolutely. So you got to keep going at least one more year after this. That's all I can ask for. So.
All right.
Got to have one more.
We promise.
One more, at least one more, please.
Okay.
All right, we do a little bit of news. We'll go quick because we definitely want to get into the topic. But a couple notes: the Geocache Talk stash, the puzzle clue 6-1 has been published, so you need to go look for it. The places to look, as we've talked about, either somewhere on the website or social media. But the clue is out there, so 6-1 is out. All right.
I bet they've already found it already.
Some have.
They're on top of it.
Some are really on top of things. And so if you haven't found it yet, that's okay. Just go search around and you'll find it. Each week we try to add the loot. And so I've got the actual treasure chest here, which we don't understand the physics of it. Stashes out there, but somehow when you find it and read the clue or read the code to us, magically this goes into all the prizes become yours. And so there's lots of prizes.
So what are you adding this week?
I'm adding some new stuff. Now, last week I added a Chris Mackey coin, which I think is really cool looking. Yeah, pretty sweet.
And we still agreed too, right? If they don't find it by January 1, I get to keep it all.
No.
Didn't we agree on that?
But Treasure X is in there. I got one of those. I've got a couple of those cool. I got some books. I got Geocaching Janji's book as well. This week, hang on, I'm getting it. Okay. This week, it is cold hard cash.
Uh-oh.
Money. We're adding money
with an S.
$25 is going in. I have a gift certificate here, or cash card, for $25. So we're adding real cash to the stash.
That's about another year of premium, isn't it?
That is. It's
almost.
And it's one of those gift cards, so you can spend it wherever you want. So you could buy from the Going Caching store. I'm sure that they would appreciate that.
So now we're starting to add money to it. Uh-oh.
I know, we're adding money. So now it's on. It's really on now. So all the clues are available anytime, as you're aware. One thing we do want to kind of mention a couple things. One is when we do get to the final week of clues, I think we mentioned this, but I want to make sure that everybody's on board or understands. Whatever that last week is, and we let you know ahead of time, but that last week we're going to provide all the clues, all the final clues for all the stashes, all in one night, because we want to give everybody, no matter where you are in the lower 48, we didn't want to try to give one clue from one location, one final clue. So we want to be able to give everybody a sporting chance.
It'll be the race is on.
The race will be on, and you'll get all the clues at the same time. So, depending on what part of the lower 48 you are 3 states away, and you'll get the final clue, and everybody will have a fighting chance to get to it.
And they're going to be super hard, right?
Yeah, yes. The last one.
Yes, they're going to be super hard.
Harder from now on. Each one's going to get a little
That's
bit.
True.
A little harder. So, all right. Enough about the stash. Geocaching.com will be offline September 11th from 8 p.m. till midnight, and that's Greenwich Mean Time. So make sure you understand that the timing of that is not your 8 p.m. That is, you have to sit there and figure out. I think is it 1 p.m. Eastern?
Oh,
Jim,
don't give me lying. I don't know.
GMT. We'll have to figure that out for everybody. But anyway, you figure yourself out.
You think it would just be Seattle time, right? Because
it should be, but
that's where the headquarters is. But
that's the way it should have worked. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, because we have people in 68 countries. So if you are like our friends in Great Britain, it's 8 p.m. because they are Greenwich Mean Time. So anyway, factor it however you need to, but geocaching.com is going to be offline for maintenance. So, all right. A couple last notes. They're doing this 4-month series called "You Might Be a Geocacher If." Each month from September through December, use the Friend League to individually earn points toward a new geocache personality souvenir. Are you a adrenaline junkie? And they have each one listed. So
pretty neat. They're different things that you have to do for each one of them. So
yeah, we're kind of back to the we're using the Friend League as just a point thing. So there's no
point other than just a scoreboard right now.
It's just a score. Really, they should just rename it.
Scoreboard,
I think.
But I think it's going to eventually. You got to think it's eventually going to be something with the friends, right?
Well, you'd think, but other than the very first one, right, was last year.
Yeah. Well, there must have been some problems, is why they haven't tried it again yet. I do like the good and the bad, right?
Golly, yeah.
Geocaching is doing a lot of good things, and they're boasting a lot of good things. They haven't quite been able to execute all of them yet, but at least they're trying it, right? So, what do we all ask for? Hey, we want to try something new, and
that's true.
They have been trying it. Okay, they hadn't figured it all out yet. I mean, just like our next little news item, we're still left kind of wondering, but at least they're trying it, right? And it's different ones and it's different types. It's not just go find 100 every single time. It's something different every time. So that's good. It's something new to play, and if you don't like it, don't do it. So
that's right. If you don't like
your normal type of caching, and don't even worry about it.
Move on.
Some people don't care about souvenirs, so some people will do anything for a souvenir.
Yeah, that's our philosophy. If you don't like it, don't do it. I mean, but oddly enough, we filter out 1 and 2 difficulty caches. We just like the hard stuff, right? And we had a lot of fun with the creatures thing. It actually got us. I think we set a record. We don't, obviously we don't have a lot of time to geocache much, and but we went out the month of July and did the whole thing and had a blast. That was my birthday month, so
good.
But we were doing lamp skirt stuff that we would normally drive right by, and we actually had a great time. So my hat's off to them. They keep coming up with stuff, and some of it'll work and some of it won't, but keep trying.
Yeah,
I'm right with him. I think that's just keep trying. It's not all going to work, right? And some people are not going to like it, no matter, even if it worked perfect. So,
well,
you know what I mean?
Did you guys like the Planetary Pursuit? Not to get too off track.
We did it. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
that one was a little harder, I think.
Yeah,
overall, because this one, if you're a cacher, you almost could stumble into the first month, which is okay.
Okay.
But that's okay. Yeah. That's really a topic for another night. We're not going to have time to get into, but
It is, but
Anyway.
it's different stuff, right?
Which
is what we want. And, you know, as long as people can be excited about some part and not like talk down about the other part, then I think it's a win. So
I agree.
But
it's interesting, but
I'm going to break my own rule and talk down about something next.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not really going to talk down about it.
Talk about AR
caches.
caches.
News item is the AR caches.
Yeah.
It's great again that they're trying something new, but they kind of said, you know, September 4th, get them all out there by then. It's a trial period, and then they haven't said anything since then. You know, I don't know why they do that. It's like we're still waiting on the challenge cache to see if they're going to be something different too. They're still in a trial period. Just like, well, I guess Wherigo is technically in beta period still too. So, I wish they would just give some kind of information like, hey, the trial period's over. We're going to take a while and figure out what we want to do with it.
Right.
But they just haven't said anything about it. So I'm kind of wondering, like, are they going to disappear, or are we going to keep them, or throw us a bone? Because I applaud them for the AR caches because that is outside of their wheelhouse, right? That is something totally experimental and different.
That's very different for them. Well, you can ask Brian Roth in 2 weeks. He'll be on the show.
Somebody said they extended AR to March 6th. Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
March 2009. Oh, cool. Okay. Cool. I haven't seen that yet. So, see, I told you our chat room. They on top of stuff. They know more than we do. We just get them on, and we can just go back and watch football.
Send it out. All the chat room people jump on the show with us. Come on, like a big party in the pool kind of thing.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that they sent that out.
Yeah,
that's cool then. So,
give it a little time. I like it.
And I'm going to wait on that next item.
Okay, that's fine.
So we'll hit that next. That's for another show.
Keep that. Let me drink. We always drink something when we say it's for another show, just to let you guys know. So, all right.
Only water and milk and stuff though.
I'm drinking
and Coke, I guess.
They should give me some money, shouldn't they? No, never mind.
Oh, you don't get us food. Why are you doing that? Our show's going to be shut down now.
I know we're going to be
product placement.
Product placement. I blocked it, so it's just cola of some type.
So that guideline, it was posted in the guidelines just for people. The AR stuff was.
Why can't they send? Okay,
I don't know.
I'm not going to be negative, but couldn't they have sent an email out of some type?
Hey, I get information from this show too. Look at that.
I know. That's why we have a great chat room.
Oh yeah. Okay. We're going to get started though, or we're not going to have. We want to talk about.
Let's get into it. Going caching mega, and so let's start. And Jim and Andy, you guys can I'll let y'all work out together. I'm just going to ask the question and not direct it at any of y'all, and you can you can just sort of look at each other and go, all right, I'll take that one. Or you can both take it. Right.
Yeah.
Let's start with when did going caching start? What was the genesis of this mega?
In 2010, the Georgia Geocachers Association, a friend of ours named Johnny, he's a charter member.
Right. But
of course, anybody with a caching name who is just their first name usually is a charter member.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, that's his caching name, Johnny.
Johnny was in charge of that meeting, and they were going to be in Savannah, Georgia, and he had the idea of having an event called Going Coastal. And he wanted to make it the biggest GGA meeting that's ever happened. So he asked us to get involved on a few aspects, asked me to design like a mascot and a logo, and for Jim to help with some caches and puzzles and things, and also to use our organizational skills. And we jumped on board. Somebody throws a challenge at us, we're going to take it. So we're like, yeah, we're down for making the biggest Georgia event ever.
Right.
And actually we had 379 people.
That's right. Yeah.
So then all of a sudden it started doing hey, maybe we try this again, push a little harder and get it to go mega.
So. Out of the gate. That is awesome.
That's huge.
That is huge. And the first one was in
it was at Skidaway Island State Park in Savannah.
Okay, in Savannah. Cool. Now the very first one, like you said, it was a GGA event. Has and I don't want to assume this, so I'm going to ask: has the GGA pretty much been the guiding impetus behind all of the going caching since that first one was called Going Coastal? You said the first one, and then switched to Going Caching. Have you guys been, has the GGA kind of been the driver for the Going Caching for the most part, or has it grown?
Well, short answer is no. We do. We're of course members of the GGA, and we love the Georgia Geocachers Association, which is the oldest in the world, the oldest geocaching association. But no, we partner with them. They always have a booth at Going Caching, and we help them. They play some games. The bingo cards and things. They administer that and promote the association. But as far as the Omega itself, they don't have a direct role. No.
Okay. Cool. That's fine. Yeah. So when I think I mentioned when we were talking about the show before we started the show, I mentioned that I had become aware of it. I think listening to Gearheads, I heard one of y'all on, or y'all both on, a few years ago, and that was kind of my first exposure to it. And hearing about, I think it was that particular year, I think there was a steampunk related. I think there've been several years, right, when y'all have had a steampunk sort of.
That must be 2016.
Okay.
When we went back to FDR, that's when we brought out the steampunk.
And we did time travel.
Right.
Yeah.
Time
So
travel.
it was steampunk time travel, and
that one really stuck out in my mind because I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool because how many of those years between 2010 and 2016 was the cosplay kind of involved, do you think?
I think it started with the pirates in Savannah.
Right.
Okay.
Right off the bat, again, it just the pirate thing. Everybody gets that. Dress up like a pirate. Right?
Of course.
And
that's awesome.
The second year, we actually did our stage show Friday night. It was we built a pirate ship stage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we actually built it in our backyard here in Rome, and the neighbors, next door neighbor, came over and says, "You fellas expecting rain?" Because
Right.
it was a pirate ship. So then we dismantled it, hauled it to Savannah,
Wow.
and so it took off from there. And every year we've had a theme and encourage people to dress up and have a lot of fun with it. Just go with your imagination.
And man, geocachers can be creative.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's their hobby, right? I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
There's no limit to their creativity sometimes.
But we've done the 1930s. So we had that was a sort of an Indiana Jones type adventure,
right,
mixed in with a lot of Franklin Roosevelt history. That was great fun. And
2014, we were Roman, ancient Rome.
Ancient Rome.
Yeah.
Togas and
we did GPS chariot races.
Yes.
Where the team had had two horses, two cachers, and the driver had GPS coordinates for the imaginary markers. They had to do a route and come back to the finish line. Jeremy was here for that.
Yeah.
And wow. He was one of the horses.
Yeah, he was a horse for a team.
But then we did Roman Renaissance, which was a lot of fun. That was sort of Monty Python Holy Grail.
Oh, cool. Yeah, 2014 was definitely that was definitely the first year that I was sort of awoken to the idea of going caching. What is going on down here? And it was that. And it was the cards, and so what year did the playing cards? Trading cards.
Trading cards.
Yeah. Cash cards, but
it's like baseball.
They're effectively trading cards for geocachers.
Yeah. Trading. Yeah. What year was the first year that really took off? The trading cards.
This was 2011.
Right, that was the year we were pushing for Mega.
That was,
and we did those early so that people would put their cards in caches and help promote the event. So,
well, that's a great idea. Yeah.
It was an early fundraiser and a promotion.
But
that's very cool.
A fascinating idea.
I kind of jumped over what the cards actually are.
Yeah,
some people may not have heard about those before. So
I've got some here.
You can
check out these ones.
Yeah.
The lackey ones.
Oh yeah, sure.
We have 9 attending lackeys this year. And they each have a cash card. And Brian, Jeremy, and Signal have done a card every year that we've done them. So I have some here. This is one, but this is what this year's theme looks like. Can you see it okay?
So these are kind of like baseball cards for cashers then.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And then they're numbered. I'm trying to hide the tracking code.
Yeah.
But they have tracking codes. So they're discoverable. Just kind of like the car decal in your car. Here's Brian's the picture.
Yep. They're very cool because this year and we'll
this hasn't been seen yet. You want to see this?
Yeah,
okay.
Jeremy's. Yeah, let's see that. Oh, Jeremy's, that's awesome.
He always comes up. He spends a lot of time thinking about what his photo is going to look like.
That's great.
And we have Miss Jen's coming this year.
Yep.
For all those audio listeners, you'll just have to jump on YouTube to see these.
Yeah,
pretty neat.
The YouTube part. But I think what's fascinating for this year, because I like that I've seen some of the example cards that y'all have done for this year, and you've really kept with the theme, which I think is neat for this year because you've got the sort of the spooky factor.
Yes.
It makes me think about the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. It makes me think about because they all look like ghosts, a little bit. So that's cool. We'll talk about how y'all use the theme. That's so cool.
Well, I guess that's before we get into the specific themes and each day and stuff. For somebody that's only been to a mega, that's like they go and it's the vendors and you socialize and then you leave. How can you give us just a short kind of idea of how different going caching is than that?
Yes. Now we love those kind of events. We go to Geo Woodstock every year. We've been to several different megas and have a great time.
Coin Fest and all those are all fun, but they're just different.
But ours is different. It starts off actually Wednesday night. Now a lot of people can't come, that early, and we have a lot of people that come and have a great time just on Saturday. But all of our side events help tell our story, which we establish as our theme. And this year, of course, is Haunted Mysteries. And we're not into the blood and gore, not that kind of horror at all.
No.
This is, like you said, just spooky, might make your hair on your arm stand up a little bit kind of stuff. But we tie everything together, hopefully. And by the time Sunday rolls around, the attendees know the whole story. They've solved it. They've I think they go home feeling like that feeling, that eureka, I solved it. I figured this out. So the whole thing is kind of like a puzzle, sort of.
So the whole event is basically Wednesday or Thursday all the way through Sunday. It's all tied in together, one big long theme.
Yes, that's right.
That's neat.
I like what you're talking about because I'm not into the blood and gore part, but I liked how it the whole the haunted mansion at Disney World. I think is kind of cool, and it made me think about that. This is why I said that. But so I also this is I think fascinating, and I like what you guys do with the carrying the theme through the week, like I said, from Wednesday to Wednesday through the event, and something that I was introduced to by somebody. I was talking to I was either talking to John Paul Barr or Chris Mackey, two of the great coin designers in the world. But one of them mentioned, they go, "Oh, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but going caching, when they do their coins, they use the coins as part of the process of the puzzles." And so talk a little bit about how sort of that began and how do the coins tie in to the theme and the puzzles?
Well, I'll start. Andy designs our coin. I focus on a lot of the puzzles, so it's a big collaboration, really. But the coin is a game piece, and every year, like one year, we had inside the coin was actually a key. Everyone, like we had like 500 copies of this one antique key, and that opened the final box. So everyone walked around with their coin in their hand for hours until they discovered there's this key inside there.
That is so awesome.
So that was kind of cool, having a full-size hidden key. We've done all kinds of ciphers and rings and things that they use.
But the coin's always intertwined. It started with the trading cards. So, right. The trading cards have many different uses, and one of them, besides being like a calling card for a cashier or a trading card for a cashier, is that we sell them in packs. So when you buy a package, you know, depending on what level package you purchase in our store, you'll get 2 packs of cards, 6 packs, 10 packs, and then we sell additional ones. Well, in every pack is a puzzle piece.
Oh, okay.
And it's a part of a map. And there's usually 12 to 16 of these. And when you collect them all together, the first year, well, the first year I would go back, the first year we did this, we didn't tell anybody that this was going to be part of the packs. So people started opening their packs and they're like, hey, what is this 2 of 12? And then they flipped it over on this side. And it was a way to encourage people to get together. Right. Like you didn't have to have all 12 or 16 pieces yourself, but you could call out, hey, I have 1, 3, 7, and 4. And someone else. Right. So then they got together as a group and put them together and then realized it was a
treasure map.
It was a treasure map.
Oh, that is so cool.
And it was a pirate treasure map because we were in Savannah and we had done the coin where the coin placed on there onto the map actually completed some information that they needed to go out into the woods and find the final. And what the final was basically, it was a box, was the TNT box.
Right.
Yeah. And you had to follow this line of wire from the dynamite to the, to the implosion box. But when you got there, there was a slot, and the cards are actually raffle cards or drawing cards. So you can fill out the back of the cards that you have and put them in the box. And then we do a big drawing for, gosh, tons and tons of prizes.
So the whole event is a bunch of puzzles. Sounds like cards, coins, everything's game pieces that leads to something fun. Then
even our program is a game piece. You need to get your hands on the program. And again, we encourage everyone to work together. That's really our number one.
That's the fun
thing.
of it. Yeah.
Right.
So we have a couple questions from the chat room too. So I'm trying to catch up with them. They're going so fast. Let me give you 3.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Is it ever coming back to Savannah? Can a cashier can't go the whole time still come and enjoy it and pick up their packets late? And should they team up with somebody else? And then hit those however you want to hit them. But I was getting behind on the question. So
as much as we would love to go back to Savannah, it's just not logistically possible anymore.
Gotcha. Just grown.
Yeah.
Right. If we were retired and we could go every weekend, travel to Savannah to plan everything, that would be great.
Yeah. And we've way outgrown the venue. Skidaway is probably one of our favorite state parks in Georgia, but it is a small one. And they've got great parking, but
the facilities are small.
Yeah, it's very, very small. We just couldn't do the fun and games that we're accustomed to down there anymore, and going anywhere else, even if it was big enough, it's like I say, it's a big circus to take on the road anymore. So
that's right. And then to answer the question of if you can only come Saturday, there are still a lot of things that you can do. You're just going to have to pick and choose, but you can. There are a lot of things that are still totally completable. There's lab caches, there's the trading card adventure, there's the ghost challenge. There's a lot of stuff you can still do that Saturday and have a great time.
And a lot of just geocaching. We're putting caches out like crazy. We're going to actually have a night cache or 2 this year.
Nice. Cool.
So there's great geocaching in this area. And if you can only come Saturday and you have people that you know or want to know even, hook up with a group. You can get a big jump start by doing that. And we really encourage, and that's kind of the last question, I guess, the third question, but definitely work with a group. You can do it by yourself, but boy, you're missing out on a lot of fun. These groups, they'll run around as, a gaggle all over the place and just have a blast together. Yeah, right.
I love it.
What is a group of cachers called? There's got to be a name for it.
Apparently, it's a gaggle.
Well, it is apparently. Tonight, it's a gaggle.
It's now I get it.
Now we kind of so there's a bunch of new caches in the area as well. You said tons of new. Okay, so there's stuff for everybody to do all weekend.
Yes, right. And a lot of caches will publish Friday morning for our Ghost Challenge, which we can talk about that in a bit. But those will publish Friday morning, and then we've got some new puzzle caches coming online very soon, so that people have time to solve them before they get here.
Is there a CETO anywhere in the area?
There is not a CETO.
No, we have had CETOs in years past, but with the the guidelines now state that we cannot have a CETO on the date of the mega. And we have so much going on Thursday and Friday that we just can't seem to squeeze that in.
I understand. It is hard to get those in now that stacking kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. We get away with a lot already, but I really did like having a CETO. Rome is on 3 rivers. The 2 rivers run together and form the Coosa, but we've cleaned tons of trash. Geocachers in the past, tons of trash on our riverbanks. It was amazing what we got up, and I would like to continue that, but really early Saturday morning would be the ideal time, and we're just not permitted to do that now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the coins, but also the shirts. Now the shirts. Is it just this year that it's related, or have you guys also started to? Has the shirts been a game piece for a while, or?
We started the concept of a pre-event shirt when we went to Savannah the 3rd year,
right?
Okay. And we did the To Life Loot and Logs shirt, but it wasn't a puzzle shirt. It was just a pre-event shirt. We sold it early. We did a Facebook contest. If you go to an event wearing your shirt, upload your picture, you're entered to win. We would give away 2 $50 gift cards.
Oh, cool.
And the next year would then 2013 when we would kind of doing the Indiana Jones sort of adventure 1930s theme at FDR. Jim and I decided I did a design and we started looking at it and we're like, hey, why don't we just add in some things? We added in like Morse code and
very cool.
The bought it or whatever.
There was all kinds of stuff hidden in there. And we, again, we come up with these ideas. We don't tell anybody. So
we didn't tell anybody.
Everybody was buying these shirts, wearing them at events, and we're laughing because no one's caught on.
We're sitting there like, oh, nobody's noticing that we're doing this.
The first code you solve says $100 FTF prize. And I think that was just straight up Morse code or something. And then it got more and more involved. So it's like an onion. You know, our puzzle shirts, you think you've got it. No, that's just,
no.
But then
keep going.
There were people that had so much fun with that. So it's like, okay, then the next year everybody's waiting anxiously to see what it's going to be. But now it's just sort of become a tradition.
We've used UV screen ink before.
Sweet.
Yeah, we printed UV ink on the inside of the back of the shirt last year.
Yeah, that was
a one-time pad. Yeah,
is that the black light thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I heard about that one. That's wild.
That's incredible.
So, but anyway, this year,
and then
it's kind of the same, same thing. It's a $100 FTF prize, and we always have a stop mechanism. Like you solve the shirt, and it tells you where to be Saturday morning to receive the final clue.
Right.
Which is a great idea because then that way. Yeah, that's fascinating. Even the items behind you are tied in.
There's been questions in the chat room about the items behind you as well.
Yes, these are two of our characters. They're now ghosts, and all of our characters this year, the ghosts are. Let me see without giving anything away. They've met their demise somehow,
right?
And history has recorded that event somehow, but it's not quite right. That's not what really happened to them. So our spirits are a bit troubled over that. Right. And the geocachers come to Going Caching, and they solve the mystery of what really happened to these ghosts, so that their spirits can move on and they'll be at peace.
Right.
So these are two of our young fellows here. They're 2-bit hoodlums, I'll put it.
The mudge
but they were convicted of murder.
Ooh.
And paid the ultimate penalty. And their spirits are quite unhappy about that. So that's one of the things everyone have to solve.
They're gonna have to figure out the real story.
And so awesome. I've also heard that there's escape rooms, some kind of escape room type thing there.
There is. In the past, we've had a castle. We've had time travel machines that you had to navigate, where the coin was actually a manual for the time travel machine.
That is cool.
That walked you through it. Last year it was offices. Dr. Muggle was our antagonist who was trying to destroy geocaching. He was going to shoot down the satellites so nobody could geocache.
If that sounds a little bit like Austin Powers, you're dead on.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So,
with the laser.
Exactly.
Laser.
We had
Yes.
So they had to break into Dr. Muggle's office, go through a secret hallway
and disarm his laser
into his laboratory and disable his laser before it ruined geocaching for
forever. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Puzzles everywhere, a weekend long theme, escape rooms, all kinds of this
year's escape room. We actually are going to do a Victorian mansion. That's the front of it is the facade. So when Gary was saying, haunted mansion, it's very, very similar to that.
Very cool.
And in there are going to be rooms. This is all connected with the trading card adventure this year. When you get the trading cards and you put this little, it's not really a map anymore, but it is like a puzzle that you put the pieces together, get more information. You take character cards, which are some of the ghost characters, and you go around 2 different locations that have items. You use the coin to get the information you need out of the item. The coin this year is very unique. And then once you have everything you need, you can come back to the park where we have the Victorian mansion to some gatekeepers who will allow you to come up, ring the doorbell, and enter.
Wow.
Very cool. Is there still the dressing up aspect this year too?
There is.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You can come as a ghost hunter. We're really focusing Rome. I'll go back a little bit. Rome is a Victorian town of city. And in its heyday, we were a cotton merchant town. And the cotton would come to Rome from all over North Georgia. They would put it on river boats and haul it to Mobile, Alabama. That was navigable all the way to Mobile. And they would load the cotton up on the ships and take them to England mostly, because that's where the looms were. So we're a Victorian town, so we're focusing on the 1890s this year. So I think Charles Dickens type dress.
That's good.
Hat, so you can see my little cap. And so Victorian, we had
steampunk.
Right. We've had so much fun with steampunk in the past. We bringing it back a little bit if people want to steampunk it up a little bit, because that was kind of Victorian as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you don't like any of that and you want to be a ghost, then you can
use a restless spirit.
Exactly.
Put the chains on, you can be like the ghost of Bob Marley.
That's right. I'll forge these chains in life.
That's right. There you go. Perfect. So
lab caches, we got to mention that too before we
yeah,
run
we're gonna. Yeah, we've people could show up Wednesday. There is an event called the Poltergeist Package Pickup on Wednesday evening, and that's kind of like your kickoff event, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's our first opportunity, or your first opportunity to get your pre-purchased packages. It's a big meet and greet. This is where and so many people have made extremely good friends at going caching, and this is the only time they see each other. So this is their time to hook up, plan their strategy, see what cards they have, and it's just a big meet and greet.
And it's kind of where there's so many people come into town early that it's just a way to get them all of their stuff, where they all their goodies and everything in their swag bag, so they can get at it and get started solving things.
I would like to say too, because this always comes up. We do package pickup at every event. People say, "Well, when I can't get there on Wednesday." Well, that's fine. Everything but the flash mob. We of course don't have time at the flash mob to take care of that. But at all of the events, and we've got other. You can check our cache page. We have other times scheduled
on Thursday afternoon.
Right. So we want you to get your stuff as quickly as possible, because again, those are your game pieces. You need those as soon as you get it.
It's not just your T-shirt, a coin, and some path tags. It's like the things you need.
Yeah, it's your toolkit in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And that one's going to be so Wednesday night, Old Civic Center on Jackson Hill is the first opportunity. And like you said, check the cache pages. We probably won't be able to mention them all tonight, but check the website and check for we're going to have in our show notes too. If you
they're all in the show notes as well.
If you get lost, they're in our show notes, and we'll have all the different GC codes for you as well. So, all right. So then Thursday, as far as you're planning, is interesting. You've got the lab caches. You're starting the lab caches sometime on Thursday. You're hoping, okay?
Yeah, they'll turn on. They'll go active Thursday. And this year we have 30. We were
oh my god,
that's awesome.
We were very happy to have HQ let us do 30 here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a very nice thing for them to.
We Thursday. It's not an event, but as an activity, there's an old Victorian plantation right outside Rome. It's called Barnsley Resort. And we're hiding tons of caches out there. They've got miles and miles of trails. And cool. 10 of the lab caches will be out there. So we're encouraging everyone to go. Barnsley normally charges like a day ticket in is $10. But on Thursday, if you wear your Going Caching name badge, you get in free.
Oh, nice.
So they're sponsoring that all day.
That's very cool.
And for geocachers, and these will be permanent caches. And for geocachers, they're after Thursday, it's $5. So they're giving a 50% discount. And it's well worth it because it's tons of caches, beautiful place.
It's a very historic spot. They have the landscaping and the gardens around are just phenomenal. Cool. And they have horseback riding of like a mini farm there. There's a world-class golf course, shooting range, but they have miles and miles of gorgeous hiking trails.
And these aren't flat, just around the little valley. These go up on the hillsides and just great hiking all the way around.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
So we're encouraging everyone to go out Thursday. They can go anytime, but Thursday is free.
They have a little beer garden that they're going to have open special that day, with some specials for geocachers for drinks and snacks and things, and also the Woodlands Grill, which is a little lunch spot. They'll have specials as well.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. And then that evening, you've got the Haunting of Clock Tower Hill. Tell us about that event. It's at 7:30 that night on Thursday night.
Yes. Everybody is being summoned to Clock Tower Hill.
I like that. Summoned.
Yes. This is where I don't want to give a whole lot away. We're known for flipping the tables on things at our flash mobs, coming up with unique and different ways of surprising the geocachers. But awesome. Professor Geist, who is our main character, who's not dead.
Yeah.
Not
right.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah. He's a medicine show guy. So he shows up into Rome with his wagon of elixirs and potions and a medium. So people can talk to dead family members or whatever. Right. And they're going to be putting on a show that will be interrupted. I guess that's about the most I can say.
Now they need to go to, is it really the old clock tower in Rome?
Oh yeah,
it is.
It is. Yeah, we have. It's a beautiful spot. The people have been just love it. But Rome is the city of 7 hills. We have 7 hills, and I guess it's the tallest in town. They in the late 1800s. It's after the Civil War, of course.
Right.
Because they burned everything. But not that I'm bitter. But
no, of course not.
No. But anyway, there's a brick tower that was originally a water tower, and then they hired some clockmaker, I think, from Italy, to come and put this gorgeous wooden clock on the top. So it's our landmark. Really, you can see it from anywhere in town, and it's a beautiful spot. And our flash mob usually is Thursday morning, but going with this year's theme and the location,
nighttime,
we're gonna hit it right after. It'll be twilight, and some cool things will happen.
And then right after the flash mob, we have a haunted pub crawl and haunted ghost walks, and these were ticketed events or ticketed activities that we had in our store. But the haunted pub crawl, there's still a chance for geocachers to join in and do that, even without having pre-purchased the swag bag and the punch ticket. Cool. But they're welcome to join in and ride around to the different.
Yeah, we've got shuttles running special routes to all of our pubs and parking decks and the downtown hotels.
Oh, very cool.
So you can just jump on. There's like giant golf carts. They're like 8-passenger carts.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
The city of Rome runs them, and they normally don't run on Thursday, but we talked them into doing it. And if you
that's awesome.
If you have your geocache or your going caching name badge on,
you can hop on and.
In a way, the name badge is starting to.
It's like your ticket.
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So our we get a lot of support from our community. And that's how when you wear your name badge around, that's how they know you're a geocacher.
Well, yeah, exactly. And all of our local friends that are just so enamored with the geocaching community and just love them being here. That's their way. Like some of them just get so excited. They see people with the name badge. Oh, you're the geocachers.
Right.
It's pretty exciting for the locals too. So.
And before we talk about Friday and Saturday, one thing I do want to mention is the fact that it is September 9th. This is in October. I want people to not think that they shouldn't at least show up, and they may not like fully prepared, but yet there's plenty of time for people to still plan, right? To come to the event.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is after you listen to this, you're like, we need to go. We really need to go to this.
Even for any park they can get there for, right? Even if they can't get all the days, get in and check it out at least Saturday, Sunday, if nothing else.
Oh, absolutely. Just get when you can and stop when you check in. We have a big hospitality tent, and it's staffed, throughout the whole thing. Check in with us, and if you can't find somebody to pal around with, or if you have questions, like particularly first timers, we would, I know if we went to something like this, we'd be lost. I mean, so check in with us and we'll take care of you. Get you started, tell you what you need to know, make some recommendations. And so many of our regulars actually look forward to taking the new attendees under their wing and helping them along because someone did it for them years ago. So you can come on Saturday and have a blast.
Oh, very good. Yeah. One thing that Jesse and I are going to do, and Jesse's like, "Uh-oh, what do I get into?" we are going to help, and this is how we're going to help this year. And that is, if you've never been and you're like, I want to go and I have no idea what to do, email us at geocachetalk@gmail.com. We have several fans of the show. We have several patrons of the show that'll be there that go every year. And we're going to at least work on getting some communication to you and get somebody. They won't necessarily take you everywhere, but at least you'll have a link to a person, a connection. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not going to guarantee that they're going to be able to do anything else, but you'll have somebody that you know that listens to our show who will be there, and you can probably ask for further questions of stuff that we're not going to be able to cover tonight, but help. I'm going to, there's nowhere to stay in Rome, but can I stay nearby? And all those kind of questions. We will get you. Send us an email, geocachetalk@gmail.com. And I know some folks already that are going that are patrons or they're fans of the show, and we'll get you information as well. So that's just an extra little added thing we're going to add. So,
well, that is an awesome idea. Thank you so much for doing that, because that's going to be a big help for a lot of people.
Yeah, when he was reading the patron list, I was like,
oh yeah, you got some all-star going cashers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we do, and we've got some folks that like Geo Monkey Tiger. He's the one that kind of, I asked him, I was like, who do I talk to? And he's like, the Waysiders. Like, oh yeah, let's talk to the Waysiders. So anyway, all right, let's jump into Friday. Friday is a nice, busy, lots of cool stuff going on. So let's start with, you got a kickoff event at 9 a.m. You have a ghost challenge coffee kickoff.
That's right. Everybody who got a packet, and we may have some extras too, you get a passport type of thing. Okay. And the ghost challenge is the geocaching, haunted observation, and supernatural tales challenge. So you're going to go around and visit a few of the known, supernatural hotspots in town that have lots of good, what do you call it? The supernatural activity.
Right.
And you will find punches and stamps and things, and you do your passport. You go around, and it's a point system, and you collect enough points, and you can bring that back to the park and get a coin.
Cool. So
most of these are loggable geocaches, and some of them are more difficult than others. And so, a difficult one, or maybe one that's a little bit more remote, would have a higher point value.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's very cool.
Oh, sorry. There's also, I'd like to mention, people ask this question a lot, but if you have the passport, there will be a coin for you. We have like the same number of coins as passports, so that it's not a race. It's not the first 200 to finish or whatever. It's we've got, if there's 600 passports out there, there's 600 coins.
So don't be knocking people over and speeding and all that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Settle down.
That's right.
Exactly.
Very cool. Okay, and then later that day, you've got Professor Geist makes another appearance. 100% True Tales of the Paranormal, and that's that evening, 6 p.m. on Friday night.
Yes, that's probably my favorite thing. It will start at 6 o'clock with the event. We'll have food trucks, and so everybody just come hang out for a little while. And as soon as it gets dark, around 8 o'clock, we put on a stage show. And this is cool. This is at the main venue event site, and we won't tell the whole story of everything, but this is going to fill in a lot of gaps for you, and it's all geocachers. And our Professor Geist character, Jackson, he was Dr. Muggle last year. He was Indiana. He was our Ace Tupper, and he's our
Captain
son,
Jack Narrow. Yeah,
but he is an actor. He really is.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he always carries this thing for us. But we put on a show, and it goes about an hour and a half, I guess. And it'll be we always design our stage to be the backdrop. And this year will be the Haunted Mansion itself with all the escape room stuff behind there.
Right.
And then we perform, and we've got live music. But it's silly as can be. A lot of the acting is not as good as Jackson, but anyway, it's a lot of fun.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
And sometimes the crowd will yell stuff out, and it's great.
Right. So it's a kind of a combination. It's entertaining, but yet at the same time, if you listen carefully, you might pick up on something.
Absolutely. We have a lot of fun throwing out subtle hints and things as well. So.
That's awesome.
And this is all before the main event has even started.
I know.
That's right.
I'm blown away already. I haven't even gotten to Saturday. So, and there's food trucks. That's cool.
There's the food trucks will be there Friday night, and then they stay over. They'll be there as well on Saturday.
Well.
Very cool.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Because now we've got a lot of good restaurants downtown, and the event site is only a mile maybe from downtown at the most.
Right, you can walk downtown from the event.
We've got great parking down at the park, and you can there's a river walk so you can walk to town, and there'll be caches all along that river walk. But some people like to hang out; they don't want to go. And there'll be a lot of people, so the restaurants will be kind of slammed. So if you don't want to go to a restaurant,
right?
Friday night.
So you can either do the food truck or go get something to eat somewhere else.
Very cool. And then the event Saturday comes, and you've got everything that I guess a traditional mega. Of course, that's not helpful if you've never been to one, but so we'll try to paint the picture for you of a mega.
Vendors, breakout sessions. Yeah.
Yep. Breakout sessions. There's going to be, you can always obviously do the lab caches either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. People go in all sorts of directions.
Oh, yeah. Everybody seems to have their favorite thing that they want to do when they get to one of these.
Jesse, the vendor booth a little bit too much, but we're trying to.
Yeah, I like the vendor booth, but my favorite is still every time the breakout sessions. I like to learn more stuff, Yeah. So anytime I can get some expert in there to teach me something new, I'm all about it.
Yeah, we have speaking of sessions. We have this year. I can't think of the name.
Let's go. Let's go earth caching.
Let's go earth caching. They're he's coming. He's going to do a session of how to get an earth cache published, which I want to sit in on because we've never published an earth cache, and so he's got some tips for everyone to make that process to go smooth. Because the way I understand it, it's probably one of the hardest geocache types to get published.
Yeah, it is. It's the hardest one to get published for sure.
You got to kind of break the code. Jesse's broken the code a little bit, but that's a great idea to have for a session. Is to talk about earth caches. That is great.
And then you two are doing one on puzzle caching.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, I thought I saw. That's okay.
Just Jim.
This is the puzzle.
Just you. Okay.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, I always do. I call it the geocaching 411 because it's not a 101. I mean, you're welcome to come if you've never solved the puzzle, and you'll learn a lot. But we're not just messing around with simple ciphers and things.
Rot 13. We're not going to do any Rot 13s at this.
So what we will do is we hide a lot of puzzle caches, and by Saturday afternoon, if you haven't already found them, I actually teach. We won't do the final coordinates for you, but we will. Lead you through the process and show you what to look for, and cool. You know how it is. There's hardly anything original anymore. It's been done. So I think it's a good education, but it's a practical thing where you can go to the class, learn how this works, step off to the side, solve it, and go find the cache.
Yeah.
We also teach the puzzle T-shirt, provided that it has been FTF'd. Now if in the past, it always has been by Saturday afternoon. In the event it didn't, we would not, teach it. But assuming it is, we'll go over exactly how the shirt works. So if you got stumped or something along the way, you can still seal the deal and find the cash.
Cool. And then, of course, the big group photo, which I always seem to miss every time.
It seems like a lot of people always miss it.
I know.
We miss some too sometimes.
At the Giga, we were curious of what time the photo was going to be, and all of a sudden everybody started leaving.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Well, is it a flood or a storm? What's happening?"
On?
Yeah. And
it was the photo, which actually kind of worked out because it rained later on. But
yes,
that's So you've got then some right toward the end, at least not necessarily the end, but you've got a point at about 4 o'clock. You're going to do some prizes and awards and things.
Right. Yeah, we'll draw. We have several drawings. We'll do from the trading card adventure. People that turned in all those cards. We'll do the drawing. We have a big ticket item drawing we do called the big drawing. We sell the tickets there at the event. We'll do the bingo card drawing. We'll do the kids caching drawings.
Oh, very cool.
We have this other thing called the Pat Tag Stringer. We've done this for tons of years. And what it is if you have a Pat Tag, you can go and you put it on a chain. They collect them. It's a big stringer of Path tags.
Oh, wow.
And you get a ticket for every Path tag you put on there.
Okay.
You get a ticket to win the entire stringer.
Oh, wow.
There'll be 110, 120 Path tags on 3 or 4 different stringers.
That we have so many. Right. We ended up with different stringers.
Yeah. So then we do the drawing for those as well.
So be sure and look.
That's a great idea.
Be sure and look for the tent.
Lottery.
Yeah, and what's cool is you're doing them in groups, like you said. So you'll start a new string,
right? Yeah, she's got 3 or 4 of them that she does. Elaine Baker, cool. Step and Fetch It, runs that for us.
Oh, that's a great idea because, like you said, you could get there'd be like say 100 of them on there, and you just start a new string, and you have several giveaways.
I know, and who wouldn't want to win like 100 Pat tags on?
I know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Incredible.
So now the next thing I'm kind of interested in, the haunted costume ball. What's the story with that?
Well, we have for Saturday night, we have the arena in the River Forum here. It's in Rome. It's on our town square, right on the banks of the river. The arena is huge, and we are going to have a DJ and dancing and a ballroom, and people are invited to dress for this. We have a magician. We're going to have a silent auction. It's all kinds of fun stuff. And it's
a lot of photo ops, a lot of the props and things that we've constructed that'll be scattered all over. Saturday afternoon, we have teams that go out and gather all that up, and they'll bring it to the forum and set it up. So, it makes great photo ops and things.
Oh, yeah.
That Saturday night thing is our big unwind. We've like put people through their paces pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So this is our big, again, it's something we always
do. It's like a big party.
Right. A big party.
Be food and drink, beer and wine.
Right. Cash bar.
Yeah, cash bar. Of course, sodas and things.
Concessions.
It's very family friendly.
Yeah. Right.
We're decorating all the tables with kind of a vintage Gothic look to them. So, and there's these giant chandeliers over the tables. So.
Right. Well, and it's cool as you've got, there's a little bit of a break as far as like if you can get back to your hotel, you can get changed, cleaned up, and you can kind of put on your costume for that night, and you can get over there by 8. So you got a little break, which I think is, sometimes people don't plan events right, and it's like, okay, great. So I'm going to cash all day, and you want me to be somewhere in 30 minutes? Like, no, this isn't going to work.
Right.
So you guys have got it well planned out. So I like that, that you can you've thought through it so much, and you guys have a really good process down. It really is cool that you got that.
Thank you. So, we try to do what we would like.
That's smart.
Yeah, that is great. And then Sunday you've got a few events. You've got a donuts and coffee, and for the sort of I like it for the nearly departed, and as everybody departs Rome and heads back home, you've got a last event. So very cool. Well, before we get to final, what are some things that we might not have mentioned that have come up in your mind that you're like, let's not forget to say whatever, or did we cover it all?
Well, you've had some great questions, and you're so well informed not to have ever attended. This is this has been really great. I'm trying to think. Is there anything that?
What about the pets? I noticed there's a pet friendly thing.
Rome is a very pet friendly town. Many of the downtown businesses have paw print stickers on their windows if they're pet friendly. Very cool. All the geocaching trails, even out at Barnsley Resort, are pet friendly, as long as geopups are on their leashes.
Right.
And our event as well, we just asked some of the facilities, the big tent, we don't want pets under where people are eating.
Right.
Yeah. But other than that, they're very welcome to be there.
And there's a couple of venues. Of course, the Saturday night thing at the Forum, they're not set up for dogs and pets there. But most of your activities, you're welcome to have your pet with you.
Jesse, you found one too that we forgot to mention.
I'm going to use that as my final thought. So.
Oh, that's your final thought. Okay.
My final thought's actually going to be a question. So.
Okay, your final. Well, that makes it. Now you're confusing everybody.
I know. I change it up, right? This is
that's all right. So. That's okay. That's your prerogative.
That's right.
As at least tonight's co-host, as I go look for a new co-host. No, I'm kidding.
He's really been trying to kick me off, and I keep coming back.
There's no way. I told him. I said, "You cannot leave. Ever."
I'll do my kind of wrap up and ask the question.
Go ahead and then.
So this is absolutely. I said at the beginning of the show, but this is absolutely the one that's on top of our list. We're very intrigued by going to this. You can't go to every mega every year. It's just impossible. But this is definitely one. This is a really neat idea how this one's set up. But one thing we didn't get to, which I just thought was pretty neat, was the mystery match button contest. So I'll leave you with that as my final thought. What
is that?
Mention that for us.
There's a member of our crew who makes these buttons, but when you purchase a package, any level at the event, it includes a little button. And there are only, I think, 3 or 4 other unique matches to your button. So there's pairs of them.
They're in sets of 4. So
sets of 4. So you have, but once you find your match, see if everybody puts them on their name badges and their collar and walk around with them. You find your match, you get to come to a wheel. It's the mystery match wheel of fun. And you spin the wheel of fun, and whatever it lands on, you each win that prize.
Oh, neat.
So some of them are, there may be one little wedge of the wheel that's like a bigger ticket item, something valued at like $25, but then sometimes you get a trackable, a path tag,
always win something.
A UV flashlight. Right. I mean, it's lots of different kinds of prizes.
And it's a great icebreaker. Some people, they just, don't reach out. They don't jump in automatically. But when you put on your button and somebody's hollering out, like, who's got the the purple
Kraken?
Or something, And it definitely it gets people socializing and talking. And even if you don't find your match, you meet a lot of people that way.
But you can start that, especially if it's on the name badges too, because we put where people are from on their name badge. So it can start off, well, like you're looking at their button and they go, oh, hey, you're from Missouri or whatever. And we're from, Indiana. And they can start talking.
Right.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
I have one.
So, go ahead, Andy.
Oh, just the one thing to mention, too, is going caching is a big undertaking, and we have a crew of 40 people that are instrumental in making all of this happen. It's this crazy group of geocachers who come back year after year. They come from 6 different states.
Wow. That's
to help and have this varied skill set. So everybody has jobs and things that they do. And we collectively, many of them have been working for months already on their aspect of the event.
Part of it. Oh, so great.
And volunteers as well. Our volunteer roster will be
out soon.
And we need people. And we, thank goodness for the volunteers, because our 40 something crew couldn't possibly do all this. Once the event starts off, we definitely need a lot of help, and some of it is not the most exciting, but as far as
garbage pickup,
we just appreciate it so much that people are coming on their vacation to go geocaching, and they'll give us an hour or two of their time, and that means a lot.
Yeah, we have.
So where would they find out how to help volunteer if you need more volunteers still?
Well, as soon as we have that ready to roll, I'll put it on Facebook page, and we'll put an announcement. So if you've logged your will attend for the event, you'll get the announcement.
Yeah, we'll do it. Well. Yeah, we'll do an announcement. It'll be on the website, and like you said, the social media stuff. And we have a crew member that is dedicated to that task of getting volunteers assigned by position. So you'll know what you're volunteering for.
And then she'll make sure, that you come when you volunteer. We have a volunteer check-in booth, and you check in there. You get your assignment. You make sure you know what you're doing, what's expected of you, and then when you're done, you get we've always had a special little volunteer path tag made, so they get a
very cool,
very unique little path tag. So
Jesse's well aware of. Jesse was very involved with 14er. Woodstock 14er, and knowing the value of a volunteer.
Right.
Volunteers or it doesn't happen. That's
right. And as somebody who's been to a few megas, do what you can, even if you're not volunteering, but if you see something where you can help out, pick up trash, do anything, grab a table,
right.
If somebody's moving a table and they're struggling, jump in and go, I'll grab the other end of the table. Where are we going? People need to be more aware of, and this is my tiny moment on a soapbox, but not professionals. Well, y'all are close to professionals, but this is not, people have real jobs, and they're not there to cater to your every whim that comes around because you happen to be there. If you come to a mega, you need to come with the volunteer servant mentality. Even if you don't do anything else, stay out of people's way, or whatever's going on. You need to be helpful, or if you're not going to be helpful, at least don't get in people's way, and don't complain. Oh my gosh, I am so tired of people complaining at megas. Don't. Just
don't. Just enjoy yourself and be helpful and happy.
Yeah, and enjoy it and all that. And if you have to really complain, just keep it to yourself and don't tell anybody else, because I don't want to hear any more of it. Do not go on social media and complain. I'm sick and tired of people complaining. But let's not leave.
Are you complaining about complaining?
I'm complaining about complaining. I am.
That's a double negative. So makes it positive again, right?
Make it positive again. But let's leave on positive notes instead of those. But so I want you guys to give sort of your final positive thoughts about the upcoming mega that you're going to be involved in for is this the 7th year? 2010 to 20. No, more than that.
This will be our eighth.
Oh my gosh,
8th mega. Yeah. Our 7th. It'd be 7th anniversary, but the 8th.
Right.
Yeah.
8th. Right. That's awesome. So, what are some of your kind of final thoughts as we wrap up tonight?
Well, we're super excited. We love the theme this year. We can't wait for everybody to get to Rome, not just to experience geocaching, but geocaching with our event in our community here. Right. And because we love showing off Rome, and Rome loves the geocachers.
That's awesome.
So,
again, I want to draw back to your wanting to have people that have questions that never been contact you guys and hook them up, because that is our overarching theme every year is crowd participation. Make friends,
Yes.
And you'll have a great time.
Yeah. Cool. Of any event that I've ever been to, non-geocaching, we've all kind of been to whatever work events, whatever. Of any of the events I've ever been to, the friendliest event to ever go to is a geocaching event. Just talk to anybody, and I've never had anybody, not be helpful. They'll always point you. If they don't know, they'll ask somebody else, and everybody's sort of there to really be supportive. And and you'll be amazed. Just kind of look at name tags, and you're running across somebody who's from your state, and get talking, and it's going to be you'll have a great time. So don't feel like you won't, even if you are going there and sort of in the, like I said, not maybe know anybody, but by the time you get there, and definitely by the time you're gone, you'll know some folks, and that'll be great thing for you. So, all right, well, again, geocachetalk@gmail.com. We'll get you information. So upcoming shows, next week, we're going to talk about the Homa tour. We're going to have some folks on from that Geo tour. That'll be interesting to hear about that one, especially they got 2 tours in one spot. So what is up with that? We're going to find out. And in 2 weeks, we're going to have Brian Roth on, talk about the beginnings of geocaching, and get maybe some good inside info of how the heck did that whole thing get started, and what was the inner workings as it started back in the day, back in 2000 when it all began. So we're looking forward to that show. And then in 3 weeks, Jesse and I are going to do a show on geocaching etiquette. So this, I think, will be fast. This will be fascinating. Can you log that you found a puzzle when you weren't the one that solved it? Do you log every cache? Do you write on the log on every cache? Do you do what you do, and why do you do it? And is it proper etiquette? So we're going to talk about geocaching etiquette in 3 weeks. So that'll be fascinating. He's already laughing about it.
Yeah.
Do you do what you're supposed to do, and what is the etiquette involved? So, all right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for being on with us tonight. The Waysiders.
Well, thank you for having us.
Andy and Jim. Oh, it's wonderful that we were able to get you guys on and talk about this fascinating mega. So again, thank you so much for being on tonight.
It's our pleasure.
With us. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Geocache Talk. Mine's at Gary Slinkard. We have Instagram is big. Instagram is also very big tonight. In case you've never been on our Instagram, you might want to. Geocache Talk, one word. And Jesse is hot and heavy on Memphis Mafia Instagram. You post a lot of cool stuff lately, Jesse. I got to give you the credit for that, buddy.
Thank you. We get to have a lot of fun. I live in Colorado, so it's hard not to find something picturesque up here. So,
ain't that the truth? And then our Facebook page, facebook.com/Geocache Talk. Show can be found iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and of course the Geocache Talk website, geocachetalk.com. Always has great information. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button below and ring the little bell so you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis, and tell your friends about the show and get them involved, and especially in our cool chat room, which I assume was hopping tonight.
Quite a bit.
Jesse trying to keep up with the chat room is always fun. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. Go to the geocaching mega this year and go geocaching. Good night, everybody.
Good night.